Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life, and I've got in front of me, well, you know what this is. This is the HTC One M9. So this is HTC's flagship for 2015 AT&T model. So we're starting to see some of the carrier variants start to show up, start to arrive now that April 10th is the official launch date with most carriers. Actually today, March 27th, is actually pre-order day. So again, AT&T variant in-house in gunmetal gray. I know you guys have seen some reviews of the international unlocked models that are also in that sort of two-tone gold and silver. Well, this is a US variant and also in gunmetal gray. So something a little bit different to check out. You know, we're gonna unbox this to get it going. We obviously want to go through a full review, put it through its paces and all that. But yeah, we just want to show you guys the device and sort of give you that first impression that we tend to do when we get a new phone in house. So if you take a look at the back, though, here is your specs. So obviously AT&T's LTE. It's got HTC Sense 7, Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 64-bit. You know, some controversy surrounding that. I'd imagine this phone is not going to melt my face off. 32 gig of storage and 3 gig of RAM. You also have a micro SD slot that holds up to 128 gig cards. That 5-inch 1080p display, which we saw last year, it's essentially a similar display as last year's. Boom sound. So the cameras obviously have changed this year as well. Big deal there. 20 megapixel camera on the back, so no ultra pixel. But the ultra pixel has moved around to the front, so that should be fun to play with. Otherwise, pretty standard stuff outside of that. So yeah, again, let's get this thing open. We'll start going through our review process and let you guys know what we think. So here is the device. Again, AT&T gunmetal gray. I'm just going to set that there for a second. So in the box, the first thing you'll notice is the uh-oh protection. So for those not familiar, uh-oh protection is HTC's new sort of, well, they used to call it HTC Advantage. This could be a part of HTC Advantage or something separate. Anyways, uh-oh protection will give you a free device replacement if you crack the screen or has water damage within the first 12 months. If you don't use either of those within the first 12 months, HTC will give you $100 towards the next HTC One. You can also swap carriers one time, and they'll basically just swap out your One for a One on your new carrier, which is kind of a cool deal, actually. Otherwise, inside the box, charger, USB cable, and a SIM tool. Nano SIM on this bad boy. So let's unwrap device here and start going through this. So again, gunmetal gray, and I'm not gonna lie, I cheated and did boot this up to skip past all of the intro stuff because that stuff's not really fun to watch me skip through. So here we go, little tour, gunmetal gray. So AT&T logo there. There is your single camera on the back, 20 megapixel sensor, and it's square or sort of the shape of the corners of the device. However you want to do that. You'll notice the duo sensor is missing there. So just a single camera, so none of the duo after effects where you can bokeh things and all that stuff, right? On the front, though, there is that ultra pixel camera, which used to be on the back. So it's kind of cool as a front-facing camera, if you think about it. So if you're taking selfies or whatever, you know, the teens do these days, you now have a really nice low-light camera to take those selfies in the club or whatever else you're doing. So ultra pixel there, standard 20 megapixel camera there on the back. You do have your IR blaster up top, and you'll notice the power button is no longer up there. So power button has moved to the side along with a now separated volume button situation here. So you've got volume up and down, and then right below that is the power button. So HTC's devices have always been sort of tall, and reaching up top to hit your power button was always a pain. So we're glad to see that they've moved that, although we're a little worried that this is going to be confusing, that these three buttons are sort of all about the same distance, have the same feel, and see which, you know, if there's going to be some confusion there or not. You have a SIM tray up above that. If we flip it over to this side, you actually have nothing except a micro SD slot on the bottom. Something we really like that HTC does, headphone jack on the bottom, although they do this sort of off-centered thing that really drives me nuts. Micro USB port, and I believe this has Qualcomm's Quick Charge 2.0 technology, since it is running that Snapdragon 810. So yeah, that's just a quick look. You know, overall, this really looks like a One M8. In hand, feels like a One M8. There's just some subtle differences. Like you can definitely feel the buttons on the side. So you know that it's changed there. There's also, it's going to be tough to pick up on camera, but there's also this new ridge around the device. So it's not just fully smooth all the way around. You've got this sort of ridge that goes around that you can certainly feel. It's not that sharp or going to hurt your hand or anything like that, but it's definitely there. It's definitely a ridge. Boom sound speakers, obviously, and the return of the HTC black bar. Now we know HTC will tell you there's important things under there, but really seems like they need to find a way to shrink that up. I mean, you just reduce the height of the device by so much if you get rid of that. Makes it a lot more handleable, if you will, in hand instead of being such a tall phone. So yeah, that's just a quick unboxing and impression. I haven't even really messed with Sense 7 at all. Lollipop, obviously. There's theming stuff going on, smart widgets, and all sorts of things they've changed in Sense 7. So we'll definitely be interested in that. Obviously, we want to test the camera performance, make sure this thing doesn't get too hot, all that good stuff, right? So again, just a quick unboxing. If you got comments, questions, want us to check anything out in particular, we can always do that. We'll have the device for as long as we need it. So if you have anything, let us know. Otherwise, for now, we are Droid Life, and we're out. Peace.